Macro versus micro sociology. Sociology is the study of human behavior, social relationships, and the way societies are organized, and one of its most important distinctions is between macro sociology and micro sociology. These two approaches help us understand social life from different angles, one focusing on the larger structures of society and the other focusing on everyday interactions between individuals. In simple terms, macro-sociology looks at the big picture of society, while micro-sociology focuses on small-scale interactions and individual behavior. Macro-sociology studies large-scale social structures and processes. It examines how major institutions such as the economy, education system, government, and religion shape society and influence people's lives. This approach is concerned with broad patterns and long-term developments, including issues like social inequality, poverty, globalization, and social change. For example, when sociologists analyze how economic systems create wealth differences or how political systems affect social stability, they are using a macro perspective. Macro-sociology helps us understand how society is organized as a whole and how its different parts are connected to each other. Micro-sociology, on the other hand, focuses on small-scale interactions that occur in everyday life. It studies how individuals communicate, how they behave in different social situations, and how they interpret the actions of others. This approach looks at face-to-face interactions, such as conversations, gestures, body language, and social roles. For example, when a sociologist observes how students interact in a classroom, how people behave during a meeting, or how individuals present themselves in social settings, they are using a micro perspective. Micro-sociology helps us understand how social reality is created through daily experiences and interactions. One of the main differences between macro and micro-sociology is the level of analysis. Macro-sociology looks at entire societies, large groups, or major institutions, while micro-sociology focuses on individuals and small groups. Macro-sociology is concerned with structures and systems, whereas micro-sociology is concerned with meanings and interactions. Both levels are important because they provide different types of insights into how society functions. Another difference lies in the types of questions each approach asks. Macro-sociology asks questions such as why inequality exists, how social institutions function, and how societies change over time. It seeks to identify general patterns and large-scale causes. Micro-sociology asks questions such as how individuals understand their social environment, how they interact with others, and how they form their identities. It focuses on understanding behavior in specific situations and contexts. Macro-sociology is often linked with broad theories that explain how society operates. Functionalist theory, for example, looks at how different parts of society contribute to stability and order. Conflict theory focuses on how power, inequality, and competition shape social relationships. These theories help explain large-scale phenomena and provide a general understanding of how societies function. Micro-sociology, on the other hand, is commonly associated with symbolic interactionism, which studies how people use language, symbols, and communication to create meaning in their interactions. This approach highlights the importance of interpretation and shared understanding in everyday life. There's also a difference in the research methods used by macro and micro sociologists. Macro sociology often relies on large-scale data such as surveys, statistics, and historical records to study social trends and patterns. It examines information from large populations to draw general conclusions. Micro-sociology, however, uses methods such as observation, interviews, and case studies to gain a deeper understanding of individual behavior and interactions. These methods allow sociologists to explore how people experience and interpret their social world in detail. Despite these differences, macro and micro sociology are not separate or unrelated. In fact, they are closely connected and complement each other. Macro-level structures influence micro-level interactions, and micro-level interactions can also shape macro-level structures over time. For example, social institutions such as education, family, and religion influence how individuals behave and interact with others. At the same time, the actions and choices of individuals can lead to changes in these institutions. This shows that society is both shaped by large systems and created through everyday interactions. To better understand this connection, consider the example of the education system. From a macro perspective, sociologists may study how the education system is organized, how it affects social inequality, and how it contributes to economic development. From a micro perspective, they may study how teachers and students interact in the classroom, how students form friendships, and how they develop their sense of identity. Both perspectives provide valuable insights, and together they give a more complete understanding of how education works. In everyday life, individuals are influenced by both macro and micro factors, often without realizing it. Large-scale structures such as culture, laws, economy, and social norms shape the opportunities and choices available to people. At the same time, individuals interact with others, make decisions, and create meanings that shape their personal experiences. For example, a person's career opportunities may be influenced by economic conditions, which is a macro factor, while their success in a job interview may depend on their communication skills and behavior, which is a micro factor. Understanding both macro and micro sociology is important because it allows us to see the full picture of social life. If we only focus on macro sociology, we may overlook the importance of individual actions and interactions. If we only focus on micro sociology, we may ignore the larger forces that shape those interactions. By combining both perspectives, we can better understand how society operates and how individuals fit into it. In conclusion, macro-sociology and micro-sociology are two essential approaches that help us understand human behavior and social organization. Macro-sociology focuses on large-scale structures, institutions, and social processes, while micro-sociology focuses on individual behavior and everyday interactions. Although they differ in their focus, questions, and methods, they are deeply interconnected and together provide a comprehensive understanding of society. By studying both perspectives, we can gain a deeper understanding of how social life is shaped and how individuals contribute to social change. If you found this explanation helpful, do not forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with others who want to learn sociology in a simple and engaging way.